Today I will teach you how to create a text box in Java AWT using Visual Studio Code. You have a text field class in order to create a text box in Java AWT. So the text field class implements a single line text entry area, usually called an edit control. So whenever we see an application form, we do have a provision to enter the name. Then we have email ID, then mobile number. So we have a lot of options where we hold a text box where you can enter. That is called user input. So a single line of text entry is considered as a text box, but in AWT we have a text field class in order to create a text box. Text fields allow the user to enter strings and to edit the text using the arrow keys, cut and paste keys, and mouse selections. So you can just type in some data and you can just select it, then cut it, then paste in another text boxes, and mouse selections can also be done in order to select some text. Now text field is a subclass of a class called text component. So text component is superclass and text field is a subclass. So if you want to create any text box in Java AWT, then you need to use a class called text field class. Now we have some constructors for text field class. So we have a constructor without any parameters, then constructor with number of characters. You need to specify how many number of characters you need to get or you want to enter into the text field. Third one, by default, whenever you execute your application, some string to be projected in the text box, you need to write that. And the fourth one, you need to project by default string and with a number of characters. So here I have given a description. The first version creates a default text field where you don't have any predefined text, where we have a minimum length, okay, 8 to 12 characters. The second form creates a text field that is number of characters you need to specify it. So based on the number of characters, the text field width has been decided. The third form initializes the text field with the string contained in str. So whatever you write here, that will be projected into the text box by default. Suppose you write here, enter your name, then that will be available when you execute your application by default. The fourth form initializes a text field and sets its width. So here you are writing some default text, and here you are going to decide the number of characters width where the text field need to be displayed. Now coming to the methods of text field class. So we have a getText method. Now this method is used to obtain the string currently contained in the text field. So you have a text box and you have some text inside that and you want to extract that particular text. So you need to apply getText, that control name dot getText. If you write, the text will be written. So the text in the text box is in the form of string. So you can see that I put the syntax also. The getText method is going to only return a string because the text field or the text box will be holding only strings. Even though you give numbers, by default it will be acting as a string. So that is the reason when you apply getText method on the particular control, you get the string. Now if you want to set some new text, for that then this method is used to set the text, that is setText method. So you need to use setText method. There is a control name you need to write, text field control name or the object name dot setText, and you need to write the string, what you want to put into the particular text box. Now the select method is used to select a portion of the text in a text field. Suppose you have something called hello in the text box and you select only 3 characters like HEL. In hello HEL I'm selecting, okay, then only that particular portion is returned by using select method. So what is the syntax for this? So here you need to write the select method, and here you need to specify the starting index. Like 0, it is going to start with 0, then 1, 2, 3. Like so, from which character you want to start, so that index number you need to write. Then the ending index till where. Suppose if I said hello is a string, HEL, H stands for the 0 index, then E stands for 1 index, L stands for the 2 index. So here I am going to write start index 0 and end index. I'll write 3, not 2. When you write end index 3, no, it will take only end index -1. That is 3 - 1 only it will take. So here I put a note. The select method selects the characters beginning at the start index and ending at the end index -1. So instead of I go for 3 characters now, HEL, H stands for 0, E stands for 1, L stands for 2. So I put here one more extra 3. So end index -1, right? So you get 0 to 2 only. So like that you need to mention. Now, whatever this text you have been selected. So the previous method was only to select it. But I want to get the selected text, right? So you need to apply get selected text method. So this method is used to obtain the currently selected text. So whatever the characters you have been given, say like 0 to 2 or 3 index, that particular characters can be extracted by using this method. So previous method was only to select, but I want to retrieve that particular selected text. You need to apply get selected text. Now that also returns string. So you can say get selected text method returns string. This is syntax. Now we have set editable method. This method is used to control whether the contents of a text field may be modified by the user, because sometimes we put the text box as non-editable. Okay, that should not be modified. So you need to clearly mention that the text field object dot set editable or true. If you write true, then we can modify. If you write false here, that is not modified. The text whatever is there in the text field will not be modified. So here you can see the boolean value you need to pass true or false. In set editable method, if this particular variable is true, the text may be changed. If it is false, the text cannot be altered, means modified, cannot be modified. So here you can restrict also. If you write false, then in the text box, whatever the data is there, that cannot be modified. Now we have is editable method. This method is used to determine editability of the text. So it returns true or false. If suppose the text field whatever is available, you need to cross verify, but that particular text field is editable or not. So you need to write the text field object dot is editable. If it is returning true, then you can say that the text field value can be edited. If it is returning false, you can say that the text field is not editable. So you can say is editable returns true if the text may be changed, and it returns false if it is not. Now we have set echo char method. Now this method specifies a single character that the text field will display when the characters are entered. Thus, the actual characters type will not be shown. So whenever you go for the password, when you type any password, the particular characters are hidden. So for that particular purpose, we can use set echo char method, and you specify here the character what you want to display. Suppose if I put a question mark here, for every text whatever you're typing, you'll be seeing only question mark in that particular text box. So this works for the password field actually. Okay, so you can write the text field object dot set echo char of. Suppose if I write question mark here and you type your password, now you can see only question marks there. So generally by default we see something called dots or asterisk mark. So instead of that, any character you can put here. So here ch specifies the character to be echoed. If ch is 0, suppose you don't write here anything, then normal echoing is restored. So nothing, the normal text can be displayed. Now we have get echo char method. This method is used to retrieve the echo character. So whatever you specified in set echo char method as a parameter, like question mark I said, you are specifying a question mark or percentile symbol or something other characters, that character will be retrieved. So it is returning only the character, one single character. Because set echo char is accepting only single character as a parameter, whatever you are setting that will be retrieved here. Suppose you set a question mark, you get question mark. Suppose you set a percentile symbol, you get here percentile symbol as an output. So these are few methods of text field class. And here we will see the execution of Java text field event handling application in AWT using Visual Studio Code environment. So let me open the Visual Studio Code. So I already opened the application for you. Now here this is an environment. So you need to have this software prior in your system. Visual Studio Code, that is easy downloadable and open source. You can just download and install. Then after that, you need to create a Java file. And here I'm naming it as textfield demo.java because I'm writing the class name as textfield demo.java. Now here I'm importing the packages. One is java.awt. The other one is java.awt.event for event handling. Then I'm developing an applet application. So I'm writing java.applet. Okay, now this is the comment what you need to put in order to execute your application. So there's an applet tag. then code should be the class name. Whatever you're writing in the class name, that should be the code attribute value. Then width and height is nothing but the applet window, width and height, this one, and close the applet. But you need to compulsory put in comment. Otherwise, it will give an error because this is not a Java code. This is part of your HTML coding that which should be executed at runtime. Okay, so how to do that I will show. Now here I'm writing a class called public class Textfield demo. And extending one class called applet. Now this applet is available in this package. That's the reason I'm including this. Implements action listener. So whenever you enter some text and press enter key, then action event is generated. Then the action listener is going to be invoked. So that's the reason we are writing this. Now this action listener is available in Java AWT package. So that's the reason we are importing. Now this text field is available in AWT. Okay, text field is a class and available from AWT. So that's the reason we are importing. Now here I'm taking two reference variables of text field class. And here I'm starting the lifecycle method of the applet with init method. And in init method, I'm creating two labels. We have a label class in AWT package. I'm taking that. And this is the object of label class. Like I'm writing name P. That this you can write anything. Then assignment operator with new label constructor. And first when you're writing the label, what you want to display on the output, like name and colon with same space. Then I'm writing the alignment also, like label.write, you need to put at the right hand side. Similarly, I'm creating one more label with the password, and that is also been aligned with the label.write. Now these are constant, left, right, and justify. Center, we have the constants, so we are using that. Now, I'm creating a text field object now, because already you can see text field reference variables you have created. That same thing I'm using, name and pass here, and equal to new text field with 12 characters. That is the number of characters I already said. Then one more password with 8 characters. Okay, so that is a parameter what we are using for text field. Now, if you can see here, I'm using one method called set echo char. Okay, and that only for second text box only I'm applying. So second text box object is pass. Pass dot set echo char of question mark. So whatever I type in the password field, that will be represented as a question mark. So actual characters will be hidden. Okay, so that's the reason I'm going for that. Now I need to add the label name P, that is nothing but name to the container. Beside that, I need to put the text box, the first text box I need to put. So I need to add the object of this one. So I have done with this. Second one, the password label, this one I need to add. Then beside that, I need to get the password box, the text box, second text box I have given here. Okay, so in this fashion only you need to add. So like you get name, label, then text box to enter, then again password, label, then password box for the entry. So in which order you add, the same output you are going to get. Okay, so you need to think logically and you need to do that. Now here two text boxes, that is name and password, are holding with the action event. When you press enter, when you enter some text and press enter key, action event is generated. So action listener you need to register. So here you can see add action listener for the current object called this. So I'm binding with the name, and there's a text box, and second text box is also been added with the action listener for the password. Okay, so whenever you enter any data and press enter key, you're going to get an action event and the action listener has been called. So that's the reason I'm implementing action listener here. So this is the registration of the listeners. Now this method is most important, action performed, and this is handling what action event. Now this action performed is an abstract method from action listener. So whenever you write implements action listener, compulsorily you need to implement this particular method. But here what you are trying to do is repaint. So repaint method is going to call what? Paint method every time. So whenever you enter text and press enter, the action perform method is called. It is work with an action event and it is calling repaint. Now repaint is going to call paint method. Now what is there in the paint method, we'll see. Now here we are using a graphics class from AWT. Then g.drawString. Now this drawstring is a method to be displaying some data onto the applet window. So here I'm writing some message called name colon space, and here I'm applying get text method. So whatever you write, suppose some XYZ you are writing in the text box, first text box, that value to be extracted. So text box object dot get text. So you get like name colon space XYZ, comma. So where you want to display that XYZ. So here x coordinate I have given 6, y coordinate I have given 60. So in this intersection point, your name will be displayed, like name colon space XYZ will be displayed. Now, if suppose you select some text, okay, suppose XYZ has been given, you select only XY. Now that portion is going to be displayed here, get selected text. So this is only applicable for what? First text box. So name dot get selected text will be displayed here, selected text in name, and you get that value. And this is also been put x comma 80 location, 6 comma 80 location. Then similarly I go for password. So pass dot get text, pass is an object, dot get text will be displayed in 6 comma 100 location. Okay, so we'll just execute and see how to work with. So in order to work with, what you need to do is you need to open the terminal. You go for the last option. You have a terminal here, a new terminal you can put, and go to the folder where you have been saved this one. So in my system it is saved in Java VS 26. Okay, so I need to just change the directory, like cd Java VS 26 folder. Then compile the program like Java C Textfield demo. Textfield demo.java. Then now you use applet viewer Textfield demo.java you need to put. Now when you do like this code get executed, and this will be calling this particular file, that is a class file. Okay, then press enter. Now can you see this output has been retrieved? Just I'll expand this. Now here you have something called name. Here you have name. So if I'm going to enter something called some XYZ, and here also I'm giving something like PQR, but you can see it's a question mark. So all you are getting question mark because we applied static occur. So just press enter. Now when you press enter, you can see the XYZ name XYZ you got, and the password is PQR. Okay, let me select only 2 characters here. Okay, only X and Y I have selected. You can observe here selected text in name is empty right now. Then press enter. Can you see here XY, only XY you got? So whatever you are selecting, only that you are going to get. Suppose if I select all and just press enter again, so you get XYZ. If I select only Z, press enter, so you got only Z here. Okay, so this is for get selected text. Then this is both for get text. Okay, so once again I will execute this one. Just go for applet viewer. Now if you can see here, now here if you can observe, we don't have anything values. Okay, just let me enter something called hello, and here I'm writing something called world as a password. Okay, now still we don't have any values here, but when I press enter key, now I'm pressing enter key, you can see the values will be upward. Now you can see when I click the enter key, you get hello here, and some whatever I have written here, that has been displayed here. Okay, now if I select some text here and press enter again, so then here you can observe the value. Now can you see here? So this is how you can create a text fields, and you can work with the methods of the text field, and you can go for selected text only, and you can go for the password echo char. Okay, these are all things you can do. I hope I have given the input for creating a text box by using text field class. and I've shown how to demonstrate the text field with the methods and also the event handling. So if you like this video, do comment, subscribe, and share it to your friends. Thank you.